Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a little bit different than usual. I thought that I would make a video about organization, productivity in college. So this is for all you college students out there. Proud of you. I have come up with a system, I guess, of how I stay organized and on top of things with school, and I know that can be a struggle for a lot of students, and so I thought maybe I will just share a few things with you guys. Maybe it'll help. It's definitely something that's pretty flexible to work with, the schedule and things I'm going to be sharing with you. But there are a few solid things that I feel like every student needs to know. So I'm going to start out talking about what I do at the beginning of every semester of school. Then I'm going to talk about how I plan out my weeks and then go more into depth about like each day. If you haven't been here before, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Stick around and I hope to give you some awesome information. So I want to begin by talking about what you need as a college student. For me, an agenda. A paper, calendar, I just call it my agenda. Have a paper agenda. I know other people feel like that a paper agenda is not for them. They way rather use their calendar on their phone, and that's totally fine if that works for you. But for me, there's something about physically writing things down that help me remember things and stay on top of them and be able to like cross it off the list. It's just satisfying. This is just something that I feel like is a necessity for all college students, and if not this, take advantage of the apps on your phone. Also, I think having a folder specifically for your syllabi. Where is it? This is my folder that holds all of my syllabi. And let me tell you why you need this. At the beginning of every semester, I take out my folder and I put all of my syllabi in here, print it out. If they don't provide it in class, I go home, I print it out, and yes, it may seem like so much ink and a waste of paper, but it is not. Let me tell you why. You go through, well, I guess maybe you don't have to print it out, but for me, I really like it because I can like mark it. But for example, this is for my English class. Most syllabi have a schedule on it. It tells you all the major dates of major assignments that are due or tests. I take those dates and I highlight them, or I box them, and I take out my handy dandy agenda and I go through the syllabi and I record all the major assignments and tests that are recorded in the syllabus, because chances are if it's in the syllabus, it's pretty dang important to the professor and it's important to you because you want to be able to remember that. I'm going to show you an example. This part of my agenda is so packed. This was last semester, I think. Boom! What? Right here you can see where I highlighted these words. So like SW is for my social work class, and then I had my marriage and relationships class, contemporary families class, humanities, and English. So I wrote down those classes. I gave them each an assigned color. So yeah, that's another thing. Get highlighters. And I went through all my syllabi and I wrote down all the major assignments and highlighted them according to what class they were for. That way, I'm always able to look ahead and see what is coming up and know exactly what class it is for. I found that extremely helpful because I'm a very visual person, and when I see something a certain color, I automatically know like, oh, that's for this class, that's a week away, or oh, that's 2 weeks away, or I should probably keep that in mind because that's only a few days away, especially for tests. It's a lifesaver because when you're taking so many classes, it's kind of hard to remember when the tests are, when you should start studying for those tests, because the professors don't always let you know, hey, by the way, there's a test coming up this week. So you just have to be on top of it on your own. So that's how I do it. That's what I do at the beginning of the semester. So for the beginning of each week, this is something that you have to kind of figure out as you go. But for each week, there might be a quiz coming up that week that's not on the syllabus, and I'll write it down, or any assignments like a paper that's due or something. And usually most of the time that stuff is on the syllabus, but if not, then at the beginning of the week, write them down when you know they're due that week so that you can see them, highlight them according to the class it is, and you'll be prepared for it. But what was the point I was going to make with that? What? How did I I seriously forgot what I was talking about in the middle of my, okay, wait, I need to, what's, okay, that is so embarrassing. I literally had to like stop filming, look at what I had just said in the video, and then remember what I was gonna say. Okay, so I do remember. One of the points I was gonna make to add on to that is after a few weeks of writing those things down, you find almost a pattern in some of your classes. Some of your classes are gonna have a quiz every single Friday or every single Wednesday. And once you see that, just go ahead and start writing quiz for every single week, so you can see it ahead of time and you don't have to keep rewriting it when each week comes. It'll already be written. I found that helpful because then you see it, you always be prepared for it. Boom. Yeah, that's the goal. Be prepared. So helpful for me. So I hope that is helpful for you as well. Moving on. This is just a really quick overview of what I do at the beginning of the semester and then for each week, but I want to go in more depth about the day, like what I do on a daily basis to organize my time or manage my time better, I guess. So I look at my days as morning routine, daytime schedule, and nighttime routine. Yes, so 3 separate parts of my day make up my whole day. For my morning routine, there's 2 things that I always keep in mind. There are essentials and there are things to get out of the way. The essentials would be things like eating breakfast, brushing my teeth, getting dressed for school, stuff like that. Essentials, you guys should all be doing that before going to school. I know some people sleep in till they can't anymore and they forget to brush their teeth and they just throw something on and just leave and go to school. No. Don't do that. You need to wake up earlier. This is like a key to life. Wake up earlier so you have more time. And not just time for your essentials that you should already be making time to do, but also things that you need to get out of the way. For me, something that I need to get out of the way in the morning is working out. I wake up a little early so I can get my workout in because literally it has brought me so much joy. And I know that sounds so weird, but it actually gives me energy and it gives me confidence that I can like take on the day or whatever. I think everyone should try to do that. But I mean, if you don't have time to work out in the morning, that's totally okay too. Some other things are like checking important emails in the morning because maybe you get emails from your professors or from the school to give you updates and stuff. So maybe that's something that you need to get out of the way. Or maybe it's a perfect time to have your scripture studies. That's something that me and Connor have been doing. So on our way to the gym, we read scriptures together. So like while he's driving, read a few verses, we discuss it, and that's our like couple scripture study for the day. That has been super awesome, and we have our individual studies at night. So yeah, morning, things to get out of the way and your essentials. And once you have those, your morning is over and you move on to your daily schedule. Your daily schedule. Yeah. So you move on to the next part of your day, second part of your day. For your daytime schedule, you have your essentials like you do for the morning time, and you have future essentials. So let me explain those. Essentials are the things that you need to get done ASAP. So assignments or projects that are due that day, or assignments or projects that are due the next day. Like maybe it's a paper, or maybe it's an online quiz you need to take. Maybe there's a meeting or an appointment for school that you have to go to. Those are your essentials that you try to get out of the way first. Those are first priority. Usually that's what I spend a majority of my time doing. And if it runs into lunch, then I spend my lunch break actually having a break. I do not work on homework during my lunch break. I have a true break and I enjoy my food. I enjoy maybe like watching a video or reading a book or something that I like, because it should be a break because you've been working hard on the things that are essential. Usually after my lunch break is when I start working on future essentials, unless I have more essentials to do. So future essentials are things that will be essential later. So basically assignments or big projects that you see are coming up in a couple of weeks or maybe even the next week, and you know that would help so much to get started early so that you don't stress so much about it later. For example, if you have a big project coming up, you might want to create an outline for what you're going to write or do for it. So by the time the project does come, you'll already have the outline and it'll be easy just to fill in the blanks. So that's what I mean by future essentials. It's going to be essential later, it's going to stress you out later, so you might as well get that beginning part out of the way. And it shouldn't take you nearly as long as your essential stuff because you're not actually doing the entire assignment, right? So after you're done, finished with all those essentials and future essentials, you need to make time during the day for you time. And that's not just your lunch break. Your lunch break is just something that you have to have because everyone needs to eat. But you also need you time. You need to rest because you've been doing all that stuff. And this might be different on different days because sometimes the only you time you have time for is like 5 minutes of just resting, maybe a 30-minute nap. Maybe you have like 2 hours of time and you watch a movie, and that's fine, that's awesome. It really depends on the day, but you should always make you time. If you don't rest your brain for a little bit after doing all that stuff or continuing to do all that stuff, then it's gonna be a disaster, so heads up. Also, make sure to have empty slots of open time because this is really just in case maybe an appointment will go over time. So you need to be prepared for plans not going perfectly to plan. I don't know if I said that right. You know what I mean? So if an appointment you think is supposed to be an hour ends up being an hour and a half, then those empty slots of time saved you because those are things that need to be filled in anyway. So that's why those are important. But if everything goes according to plan, which sometimes they do, then those empty slots of time can be more you time, or they can be time to talk to your parents on the phone, time that you serve someone or someone asks you to do something and you use those empty slots of time to do it. I think it opens more opportunities for things for you to do during the day. So last part of your day is the nighttime routine. So just like the morning routine, there are essentials. So for your essentials, again, basics, there's dinner, brushing your teeth, showering, if you're not a morning showerer, a person that showers at morning and night, I don't know. So yeah, those are your essentials. But then there's also things, again, need to get out of the way. And I say, so this is kind of backwards. So instead of doing the get out of the way things first, I say you do get out of the way things last. I guess you could do it either way, but this consists of basically like packing your backpack the day before, picking out your clothes for the next day to wear, maybe pick out your workout clothes for the next morning if you do that. And then you will have those empty slots of time, hopefully, if it's not a super big day, to read a book, have pillow talk with your spouse, hang out with friends, stuff like that. That is basically my ideal schedule for the day, and obviously it changes a lot, but that's kind of what I go for, is the morning routine, daytime schedule, and night routine. And this can be adjusted to whatever is going on. If you know you're gonna be super crazy busy and you know that your night is not gonna be as long, or your mornings are not gonna be, you know, as long, then you can substitute some of those time frames for more work that you need to get done. Or maybe if you have like way less stuff to do, then you have more you time or more time to talk to family members and stuff, because I think it is so important to try to balance your life spiritually and with your family and also with school, because that's what's going to bring you joy, is having that balance. And that's why this is kind of just the foundation base of how I organize my time. So over time I was just able to learn how to balance all those things. And I'm still not perfect at it. I still have late nights where I stay up working on a project because I didn't realize how long it was going to take me, which, by the way, is a great tip. When you schedule in time to work on your assignments, give yourself more time than you think it's going to take you, because usually it does. Like 90% of the time, at least for me. I can finish that in 30 minutes. Nope. And I end up spending like an hour on it, or an hour and a half on it, or even 2 hours. It really depends on the assignment, but sometimes it's double the time that I think it's going to be. So that is a huge tip. This is like the thing that saves me, and it's not super complicated. I don't write in every single hour of my day, and some of you might need to do that if you're just starting, but for me, I've gotten so used to my simplified schedule of morning, day, and night that I just write down almost just a to-do list for each day, and then I'm able to organize my time accordingly. I hope this helps. I hope this motivates you to get organized and get on top of your assignments for school. And I have so much more I could say about organization, productivity, and stuff with college, but I want to hear back from you guys. If it's something that you would like to hear more about, want more tips about, because this was seriously just a quick overview of what I do in my life to keep it organized and to stay on top of things. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, then prove it. I don't know. Wow, that was such a weird way to say that. Like and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in hearing more. This was a new segment to my channel, and it's gonna be like Fackrellesque motivation to do all kinds of things, but this one in particular is about college and getting organized and stuff. Hope you liked it, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.